from Kingussie. As you travel between Kingussie and Aviemore, you'll pass through flat, open lands beside the River Spey, with broad, rounded mountains to left and right. It's a landscape which is transformed by the seasons. If you're travelling in winter, the train will pass through the flooded Inch marshes, which are a haven for wintering birds. In summer, there's no water to be seen, and the River Spey itself is largely hidden from view as it winds its way across the grazings of this natural floodplain. Ever present on this part of your journey are the mountains. Across the river are the Cairngorms, which are also known as the Monarua or Red Hills, and on this side are the Monalea, the Grey Hills. For thousands of years, people have used natural routes to cross this mountainous spine of Scotland. They used to travel through the broad straths and high passes on foot or on horseback. Wheeled carts or carriages weren't an option, as there were no roads in the heart of the Highlands. Around 3 centuries ago, that all began to change. The years between 1689 and 1719 were turbulent ones. Men from the north and northeast of Scotland followed the Jacobite cause and took part in a series of uprisings. Battles near Blairathel and Stirling severely tested the King's army. The government was determined to exert control over the Highlands and built a series of forts and barracks in the heart of the country to station regiments of soldiers amongst the local people. As you leave Kingussie, you might glimpse one of these fortifications, the impressive roofless barracks of Ruthven, which stand high on a knoll overlooking the landscape. But it's no use having new forts if there are no proper roads for the army to use as they move around. Now this is where General Wade came in. He was appointed in 1725 to design and direct a building programme that would open up the Highlands to horse-drawn transport. Routes north from Perth and Stirling were chosen. The stretch of road between Dunkeld and Inverness is 102 miles long, but it was built by hand in an impressive 12 months between 1728 and 1729. As many as 500 soldiers worked on the road from April to October, operating in work parties of around 100 men. Civilian craftsmen like masons and blacksmiths were also needed, and carpenters provided the arch formers for the many bridges that were needed to span the challenging terrain. It's ironic that the roads that were built to subdue the people were actually put to good use by the government's opponents when Charles Edward Stuart, also known as Bonnie Prince Charlie, led his ultimately unsuccessful Jacobite rising in 1745-6. It was his followers who torched Ruthven Barracks at the end of their rebellion. After this uprising, even more roads and bridges were built to control the Highlands. This time a Major Caulfield was in charge. He oversaw the building of many more roads than General Wade, but for some reason is less well remembered. Times change, obviously. You no longer hear the clash of weaponry or the regular beat of hundreds of soldiers marching through the Highlands. Most of the barracks and forts lie abandoned, but many of the military routes remain in use today. Even this railway line, travelling north from Dunkeld to Inverness alongside the A9, follows much the same route as the road which was built to bring the army north to subdue and control the people of the Highlands.